And welcome back to the working week if you are working, but welcome back to Monday. How about that? How about the fact that it's the last Monday of 2020? There's something to celebrate right there. This is Carcon Carne. I'm James Van Alstel, still here in quarantine, joined tonight by Orville Diaz. He is a partner. He is the general manager of Mickey's Park in River North, or if you prefer, as a Chicagoan, River North. Orville, thank you for joining us tonight. Got to keep it
Thanks.
real.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, man.
One of the things, one of the themes I keep coming back to by necessity is resiliency, tenacity in the face of the pandemic. People who found ways to innovate and be creative and find new ways to do old things during this era of COVID-19, which I think Mickey's Park in River North has done, 109 West Hubbard. We're going to talk about, I mean, you've got stuff going on for New Year's Eve. You've got cool stuff. I want to talk about the vibe and the theme and the offerings at Mickey's Park, because I think they are unique to the Chicago area. But before we get to a lot of that stuff, I want to kind of tell the story of your restaurant. Have you tell the story? I'd be terrible at it. Have you tell the story of the restaurant? You opened for business in March, shortly before every restaurant got shut down.
Absolutely. So uh, we opened up a week before the shutdown. So the thought process was it was the week before St. Patty's Day. So we thought, hey, let's open up a week before St. Patty's Day, kind of get comfortable in our own skin a little bit, hit St. Patty's Day, and then just, hit the ground running. Unfortunately, said, with everything going on in the world, and then, our leadership in Chicago making the decisions that they did, the timing of it was, okay, we're open for a week, and then now we're shutting down on Monday. So it was definitely a hard way to start a business. It was definitely um, a challenging way in a sense that definitely not in our game plan. but but we worked so hard to get it open. We thought, we really believe in the project. We really believe in what we're doing. So we said, all right, so if this is what's getting thrown at us, then let's keep going. And like everybody in this industry and in most industries, the audibles and the pivots that we've had to take through this year, that's just the way we started. So as these months have gone on, we've kind of gotten used to just pivoting and audibles and changes every month, week to week, just because of the decisions that are being made and how we're treating this whole situation, this COVID situation. It's easy to be mad and frustrated. But we're trying to stay positive throughout the whole thing and just, trying to think of great creative ways of how we're going to keep this business going, how we're going to create this passion, this thing that we thought of, that we wanted to share with everybody, and how we're going to keep that going and get through this so we can actually do it the way we intended to.
I think one of the refrains I keep hearing is how liberating it is for a business, a small business, whether it's a restaurant, retail operation, whatever, to give yourself the freedom to just go where it feels natural. There are no sacred cows. Here's what
Yeah.
this is the right thing. We need to follow this. Forget what came before. This is the way.
Yeah, this is the way. And again, we had to adjust. And like I said, it's easy to be mad and frustrated, but instead of doing that, we just decided, okay, so what do we got here? Okay, what are the new rules now? What was it last time? Okay, it's not that way from last week. Guess what, we're gonna change it to what's gonna best suit us and how we can keep on trucking along here. So that's what we just keep on doing. And again, as the year ends, we're still doing almost the exact same decision making and rule changing and whatever since the beginning. So we're used to it by now.
For sure. And this is a good point to ask, or have you explained what the concept is?
No, not yet. So Mickey's Park, it is what we like to call a Korean bar. So we have great food and great cocktails. The food is basically inspired by Korean street food, Korean bar food, using all traditional flavors, and our take on, like bar sliders or loaded fries. But then we have some things that are a little bit more traditional with a little bit of a twist, like the bibimbap bowl, which is like or the Mickey's bop, which is like a bibimbap bowl, um, with the barbecue meat on top and the chili paste and things of that nature. So that on the food side, just some really great flavors that not only River North really hasn't seen.
Sure.
Um, but around Chicago, there's just I feel, or we feel, that there's just this great upswing with Korean cuisine right now, and people are really starting to kind of like, test the waters and dive in. And some people already know it, so let's give them something new. And then as far as the cocktails go, we have a really cool cocktail list. It's really fun, and it's inspired and focused with soju. So soju is Soju. It is a Korean spirit, as you can say, a Korean vodka, they like to call it. So the way I like to explain it is in the same realm as sake in the sense of that it is made with rice, right? But as far as the aging or the distilling part, this is more on the spirit side because it's distilled more like a spirit. So um, it kind of has a vodka flavor, and then they have a lot of other great flavors that they add to it. So, like we have the green grape, a plum, um, a strawberry, a grapefruit, and I'll tell you what, it's delicious. It's like drinking Jolly Ranchers. And it's really sneaky because they taste so good, and then all of a sudden, you're on another level, to say the least.
So
But
the flavor profile for people who haven't had it, I mean, the way you're describing it,
yeah,
it lends itself to sweeter
yeah,
combinations
yes,
because of the
absolutely.
rice?
Yes, absolutely. Well, because of the rice, it gives it more of that kind of, I guess you can say the like the mid level of like a little softer of a vodka, right? But then with the flavors added, it does give it a more sweeter flavor profile.
And correct me if I'm wrong, this is a pretty well-known drink outside of outside of Chicago, certainly, but outside of America. Like
Yes. So
it's alien to so many people here, but this is
fun.
common stuff.
Yeah, funny fact that soju is actually probably one of the most popular spirits in the world, and uh, it's amazing. Like everybody in obviously in North Korea or South Korea, excuse me, they it is a it's a daily. They drink it with everything. The way actually they do soju. Another fact for everybody. So soju is a regulated spirit in Korea and in South Korea. So the government makes and regulates soju and then distributes it to all the different soju companies, and that's when they have their take in adding their different flavors to it. So
Got it.
it's a regulated government regulated spirit, because they kind of want to keep it pure and they want to keep it like the traditional old school recipe. And so I think that's a really cool thing of how they just hold on to that tradition and make sure it's done properly.
So would you say that soju is to South Korea as old style is to Chicago?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Perfect.
Just in some way, yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about the cuisine because you mentioned the bibimbap and the chilies. Is heat part of the flavor profile for Korean food or part of your food?
For our menu, yeah, heat is there's a little bit of heat in almost everything. We actually created a house-made spice with a lot of different Korean spices like gochugaru, which is a chili powder, and other things that I will not say at the moment due to top secret. Um, Mickey Spark,
Sweet.
yeah. So recipes, but so we kind of add that in a lot of our menu items. Now, if you're not into spice, we can definitely keep it off. But it is one of our kind of things that we love. We love a little bit of heat, and it adds a great you know another level, another complexity to our food.
And the more people are sweating, more people's noses are running, the more soju they're going to need.
100%.
I see how this works.
Yeah, come on, man.
So River North, the area you're in, again, you're at 109 West Hubbard. This is an area that depends so much on tourism. It depends on people coming into the city. It depends on people working downtown and going somewhere after work. Tell me a little bit about the customers you've had this year. I mean, they found you.
Yeah, yeah. So let's backtrack a little bit, just the way we started, right? So when that first phase, we were just takeout only, right? So
And you had
you
the
know,
window built in. You had the like in the most
yeah,
uncanny presence of mind before any of this happened. You had a takeout window already set up.
yeah. So again, we'll backtrack a little bit too, because that window, the original thought and the way things happened this year, definitely again challenging and definitely frustrating. Um, but a lot of it was very organic, because that window that you mentioned, um, it was it was kind of meant to be like the pizza window right around
Hmm.
the corner, to feed the zombies that come out of the bars at 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. And kind of be this quick kind of different cuisine. Instead of like hot dogs and burgers and pizza, we wanted to do some really cool stuff, but quick and easy, and
Hmm.
and just gas you up for the next bar. But unfortunately said, we didn't have that opportunity to do those things. So again, very organically, it was perfect, since we were just doing takeout, for that to be a pickup window. And originally it was supposed to be just a limited menu, but then we're like, okay, we have this opportunity, and obviously we're in this situation. We're going to provide the whole menu. So it became a walk-up window. It became a window where drivers, for all the services that we use, um, to pick up, and again, minimal contact, and safe for everybody. We put a hand sanitizer out in front of the window, and everybody was safe. And again, that's how organically we started, instead of actually being the bar that we wanted to be. We were this pickup window. And so that was kind of our exposure. And that's how people got to know us. People were cooped up in the beginning, and all of a sudden, all the condo people came down and started taking walks around the neighborhood. And that's how a lot of them found out. We had some really great articles, and great exposure from media in the beginning too. We worked really hard to get that going, because again, we didn't open up like a typical opening. We had to really get creative and push the walk-up window, takeout, and so on and so forth. So that's kind of how that all happened. And again, now we're back to this phase that we're in now. So the window is nicely lit, shows Mickey's Park, and you can walk up at any time and order, or you can call in directly and pick up. Or we're on, you know, Grubhub, DoorDash, and Caviar, and Talk, and so we're available. We're out there. So and again, the menu, and let's go back to the menu. The menu is, it's a nice compact menu. I didn't want to do like these big menus. We didn't want to, because sometimes it gets overwhelming. We just decided, hey, let's, the way we're gonna get out there and get people trying this new thing is, let's make a nice compact menu that um, it's easily approachable,
That's it. That makes
and do
so
it
much
well.
sense. Hmm.
Yeah, and do it well, man. Do it, and that's hopefully that's what we've gotten, and we've gotten, again, people that have tried us are just really loving what we're doing. You know.
Back to River North and back to this idea that this is not the year anyone would have chosen, let alone a new restaurant. I mean, you were in River North. You were there when civil unrest just ripped
Yes.
through River North, vandalism, looting hit your restaurant. At some
Yes.
point, you think, "Oh my God!" Like when you open up a place, you war game all the possible worst case scenarios. None of
Yeah.
them, I'm sure, were on this list that actually
Absolutely
happened.
not. Yeah, we kind of joked about it then, very quickly after it happened, and we still joke about it now. But when the unrest did happen, we were just like, what else can happen this year? I was like, is there going to be an alien attack? What's next? So we kind of, not necessarily, were lighthearted about it, but we just wanted to bounce back as quickly as possible. So we were kind of the center of a lot of the things in that first quote unquote riot. And our patio, we literally, that was when the city gave us a go to set up our patios.
Hmm.
So literally 2 days in that week leading up to, We got our patio set up. We planted, in our planter boxes, we planted new plants. Um, and then just like that, it was ripped away. They used it as barricades on Clark Street. People
Wow.
were knocking them over. It was in the middle of Hubbard. Some of our windows were broken. At that point, our biggest concern is just that we wanted everybody to be safe. So
Absolutely.
um, the real kind of like awesome thing that we took away from that too is like, we're not going to let this stop what we're doing. This is our passion. This is what we love to do. This is what we wanted to do. But
You
there's
made it
all,
this far. You made it
yes,
this far. There's
all,
no
100%,
going back.
no going back. But like that day of and the day after, uh, there was people, strangers, pulling our patio back onto the sidewalk, to clear it up, and
That
and so that again, that gives you great hope. It's
it
like,
does.
all right, so people, this is a sign that we're not done. And again, like, we really didn't want to be done. Our mantra is, we say LFG, and it's let's F and go, because that's how like passionate we are about it. And so yeah, after all this was happening, it's like, and again, like I keep on saying it, with all the different different regulations and rule changes and whatever, from week to week, sometimes from month to month, that it's been, we're just like, all right, let's just go with it, and just keep on trucking.
And I'm sure that the staff, the people you have working in the restaurant, with all the shit you've been through this year, I'm sure there's like a heightened sense of camaraderie and like everyone having each other's back. Like you've been through all this. Like, I mean, what a horrible way to forge a team, but what a great way to forge a team too, going through
I
all these
mean,
extreme situations.
yeah, very well said. I mean, it totally was that. I mean, you know in this business, we have always thought of our restaurant um, uh, peers to be family, because sometimes we see them more than our own. But
Mhm.
during this time, we really have become a really small family, because we have gone through so much. And you know you know me and my partners, our biggest thing is, we want to take care of our people, and especially during this time where our industry got hit, like, first and the hardest right off the bat. And we just didn't want to leave them high and dry. And we tried to help out as many as we can. And, the ones that we could keep on, they're still here. And we're trying to do as much and you know, as best as we can, throughout this and through the holidays and so on and so forth. So,
Well, let's talk about holidays. Since the Tiger Bar won't be open for people to hang out at
yeah.
on New Year's Eve, you're making it easy to celebrate New Year's Eve with you just remotely. You
Yeah.
got tell me you said it's the Let's Effing Go New Year's. You've got the Let's Effing Go package. Tell me what you're doing for New Year's that we can
All right.
find.
Cool. So for New Year's, we decided to kind of bring the club and bar atmosphere to you. So we have this uh, Let's F and Go package, which is like a bottle service package in a sense. So you get a bottle of Grey Goose, some sparkling wine, a couple bottles of Soju, a 6-pack of Height beer, which is a Korean beer, and you know, for $150. And then we also, as far as food goes, we're also doing like, and this is another thing that we did because of this year. We never thought we would do like these large kind of uh, packets or baskets, excuse me, or like catering things until later on down the road, but we were kind of forced to do it early on. So we have a lot of different large packages that you can get for food, for for vegetarians, for um, you know for meat eaters, whatever. We have a few different options. We have one that we did for the holidays. It's called Winter Christmas or Chicken Dinner, and it's a whole chicken with fried rice, salad, some sides, and some you know. Uh, it's just really tasty. We just fry this whole chicken. It's kind of like a inspired by Korean street food. They do this on the streets of Seoul. They just fry whole chickens, and it's just this
Sounds
light,
awesome.
crispy. Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Wait, so you're at the restaurant right now. What kind of machinery just got turned on as you're sitting there?
Oh, unfortunately, you said in my office, the HVAC unit is right next to my desk.
Well, it works.
Yeah, good.
Confirmed. It's working.
Confirmed. Yeah, good. I'm glad everybody can hear that. We're good here.
So tell me more about Height Beer. I think this is another thing that's not on a lot of people's radar.
Yeah. So it's Korea's version of like a Miller Lite. It's easy, drinkable, sessionable. You can drink multiple, just like a Miller Lite.
Perfect.
Perfect. Sold. It's easy.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, and it goes great with soju.
Perfect. Well, that's great. And what's nice about this, you can basically accommodate your small gathering, your small little bubble you have on New Year's Eve with this package, and in doing so, you're supporting a local restaurant. Which, no matter how you're handling New Year's Eve, support your local restaurants and bars. We've said it before. We'll keep saying it. Local is what defines our neighborhoods and our communities, and whatever we can do to support you guys. And I think this sounds like a lot of fun. And of course, photo booth props are included. So
yes.
Take pictures and
That's
tag
right.
you back and give you all that love.
Yeah. Again, I just want to say thanks, man, for allowing for us to share with you what's going on here. And, again, we just wish everybody a better 2021, and let's kick out 2020 and let's start it off with a bang, man.
I love it. And I love what you're doing. I love the fact that you're bringing South Korean street food to River North. It needed a little something.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's give River North a new taste a little bit.